You're listening to the Ordinary Joe's podcast with Joe D and Eric B. The Ordinary Joe's podcast.
All right, Super Bowl tomorrow. Today's a special Saturday edition that we're doing this February 6th, Saturday. If you guys are listening on Monday, this is a Saturday show that we hardly do, but usually we do our show on Sundays, and being that it's the Super Bowl tomorrow, I don't think me and Joe will sneak away to, and if we did, it's going to be some kind of crazy shit show that me and him will try to talk about whatever, and
right, yeah.
Alcohol's involved, it's never good, guys. It's never good.
Nope, definitely not with cameras around.
Oh my God. All right, man. Let's get something going, I guess. I'm Eric B.
And I'm Joe D. And we are the Ordinary Joes.
Hey, we're getting better, man. I'll give you a little clap for that. We're getting better for that one, man. I like it. All right, man. So today we're going to talk about Super Bowl in general. What do you guys normally do for Super Bowl? What do you have planned? What's your spread? What's your favorite dish? What's a go-to dish that you have? What's, I guess, the number of people you want on a normal Super Bowl, not this Super Bowl, of course. On a normal Super Bowl, who are you inviting over? Who do you definitely don't want to come over? And then, we broke down like some favorite Super Bowl commercials, some memorable halftime shows. And, I got one favorite national anthem that I want to share with you guys later on. But that's what we're going to talk about today. Super Bowl in general. And then towards the end, maybe we'll, do our little picks on who do we think is going to win tomorrow's Super Bowl or Sunday's Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. All right. Joe, let's go ahead and kick it off, man.
All right. So I'm going to start with my favorite. It's my favorite, I think, football food in general.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But, especially for Super Bowl. And I'm definitely going to have these tomorrow. Buffalo wings.
Oh, yes.
Right. Can't go wrong with buffalo wings, right? But there's a big debate in the buffalo wing world. Classic, original style buffalo wings, or the, as I like to call it, Hooters style breaded buffalo wings, like fried, breaded, and then tossed in the sauce, as opposed to just the. I love them both. They're both amazing to me.
I'm torn.
But I'm gonna tell you why I like the breaded ones more. Okay. Well, specifically the Hooters one. And now before, because every time I tell people like Hooters has like the greatest wings, they're like, yeah, sure they do. I'm like, no, seriously, they do. You got to try the food. It's good. Sure.
Hey, spoiler alert, man. I've never been to Hooters, so sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So we have to go to Hooters. Okay. We got to go to Hooters.
All right.
This is the plan. And we're going to get their wings. The regular, don't go crazy with all the sauces and all that stuff. You just regular hot wings, which would be like your typical buffalo sauce. Oh my God, it is so good. It's crispy on the outside and juicy, like falls right off the bone.
Man,
the
sauce
sauce
want
is
some
like
right now.
Perfect. That shout out to Evan from Woken Up. Well, me and him used to go to Hooters every weekend. We would do fantasy football, and they'd have all the screens and have a bunch of different games on, so it's perfect for fantasy football. And we powered through like 20 of those bad boys easily.
Jesus.
Oh my God, it's so good. So yeah, that for sure. That's on deck for tomorrow.
Nice.
Sunday.
Now, when you say breaded, so okay, I have only been to Buffalo Wild Wings and Wingstop, so it's kind of like they're known for their buffalo wings. Wingstop is more if you order garlic parmesan, they toss it in garlic parmesan sauce, right? Is that how they do it at Hooters? Or is the flavor on the side?
No. So that would be kind of like more of the traditional, the way they do it. They don't like dip it and put it in actual breadcrumbs and fry it and all that. They just do it as is with the skin. That would be the more traditional. And the Hooters ones are the ones where they, like I said, bread and fry them. So that's a debate for a lot of people. The original, traditional, classic ones, Buffalo, New York, Buffalo sauce are the ones like kind of like Wingstop.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I don't go to Wingstop enough to know. I don't know if they do the other style.
Yeah, well. I've never seen that style. Yeah. I know Buffalo Wild Wings does that style where the sauces, you get the flavor, and the flavors, like you just mentioned with Hooters, man. But I definitely got to try Hooters, man. That's definitely a next thing for me to do. Man, you made me want some buffalo wings right now. Jesus. Who delivers? Who delivers? I got two go-tos, and usually it depends on the year and what I feel like making. For the past couple of years, I've always been making prime rib. But I've also been making prime rib like for New Year's Eve or Christmas. So it's kind of like a killjoy to have it on Super Bowl. So I've been making ribs, and it's not, nothing big. I go to Costco. And I cheat, for you guys who are wondering. I cheat. I get the one that's already not breaded. It's already seasoned. There's 2 slabs.
Hey, listen, we got to work.
Yeah, we do got to work. So I don't have time to sit there and do all that stuff and get all that stuff ready. But yeah, I do that. Put it in the oven. 3-4 hours later. It's kind of a mixture in my house. My house likes. Well, there's a few that likes it dry, just out of the oven, and there's me and my older son who likes the barbecue sauce. And we like to, old fashioned, dip it in the barbecue sauce. You're sucking and licking the bones and all that stuff. That's how we like to eat it. But then again, you got, the other two in the family that, nah, I like it dry the way it is. It's Filipino style. They eat it with the rice instead of the mashed potatoes. Yeah, exactly. So we got that. So usually, the past couple of Super Bowls, it has been the ribs was the go-to. And again, Costco slab, $24, already seasoned. Just pop it in the oven and you're good to go. I do have a smoker.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Traeger's for hooking me up, but I haven't used it in like 3 years. So it's still sitting there. I realized cooking it in the oven was a lot faster than cooking it in the smoker. It's like smoker is cool. You got that crisp smoke taste, that flavor that comes out. But the oven is kind of the same thing, and I noticed the oven was a little more juicier whenever we cooked it in the oven. So
okay, yeah. Now, are you are you a fan of the sweeter barbecue sauce or more of the tangy? Now, pardon me because I don't know like the regions and what, but I know there's kind of more the sweeter kind and the tangier type. Do you have a preference?
No preference. As long as it has that honey barbecue flavor, that barbecue flavor sauce. I don't really mind. I think the one that we're using right now, I want to say it's Bubba Ray's is the one that we're using right now.
Oh, yeah, the sweet baby Ray's.
Sweet baby Ray's, that's what it is. Yeah, sweet baby Ray's. So that's good. And there used to be one barbecue sauce here in San Francisco. There used to be a barbecue place called Leon's Barbecue. It was like the best barbecue joint to go to. They sold their barbecue sauce like at Safeway and all that stuff before they finally pulled everything off the shelves because they, closed down. But their barbecue sauce was more that tangy kind of, you can taste the mystique, you can taste the spice, you can taste all that stuff. I like that barbecue sauce too, but I can go either or.
Yeah, same here. It just kind of depends on the mood.
Yeah. Depends on the mood, and it's if I see it at Safeway and it's there, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna grab this one. And again, it really doesn't matter to me. So I like that. I like them both.
Same. I'm a feta.
Yeah. You have any sides you like when you eat when you do the buffalo wings? Is there how certain people they like the celery and the carrots and all that stuff?
I'm not the celery and carrots guy. I'm not a big fan of ranch actually, and what's the other one? Blue cheese.
Okay.
I usually just eat my wings as is. FYI, if they ask you if you want that at Hooters and you don't eat the carrots and the celery and all that stuff, don't get it. It's like an additional
oh wow, really?
So I'm like, yeah. For a long time, we're like, yeah, sure, throw it in there. We weren't eating it, and then we were like, hey, wait a minute, the charge was
like, wait a minute, $2 for something we didn't touch.
Yeah, like but as far as sides goes, there's for me, and this is a sleeper, and this is another thing from Hooters, but I mean, this is also like a classic from when you were a kid, but tater tots. Right.
Oh, wow.
But not just any tater tots, loaded tater tots. So basically, picture everything you would put on nachos.
Okay.
Like meat, cheese, sour cream, salsa, guacamole, all that good stuff. Jalapeno, but put it on tater tots instead of tortillas.
Okay.
Amazing. You gotta try it. And that was another go-to like side whenever we would go to Hooters. In fact, our boy Sean, shout out to Sean, he started working at Hooters for a little bit because we were going there so much that we got him a job there. Like we had connections. It was great.
Give my boy Sean a job.
So he started working in the kitchen, and he used to really hook it up.
Nice.
The days that he was working there, we would go, like, he would make it like amazing. So
Nice.
shout out to Sean for that.
Man, again, I've never been to Hooters as much as Hooters was was a staple here in San Francisco, Fisherman's Wharf for the longest time. There was one in San Bruno. I don't know if that's still there. The one inside the Tanforan Shopping Center. I don't know if that's still there.
No.
Yeah,
They unfortunately they fell to COVID.
Oh, yeah. See, so I mean, when I was raising 2 kids, and Hooters, I didn't want my back then like 10 or 12-year-old, and like, why is it called Hooters and why are their shirts so tight? I didn't need them hitting puberty right away as soon as we take them for wings. So, but yeah, man, whenever we can find a Hooters, man, I definitely gotta go check that out, man. Definitely gotta check that out.
But how about you? Do you have any sides?
Yeah, so we Filipinos, we always got to make the rice. There's always someone that's gonna say, "Hey, where's my rice?" Funny story. Let me just tell you a quick story about chicken wings. We took my whole family to Wingstop one day. My brother-in-law, my dad, my mom, all that stuff, right? My brother-in-law comes in with a white styrofoam of I was like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing? Why are you bringing extra food in?" He's like, "Oh, it's not extra food, man. It's rice." He's like you, man. He likes to eat it traditional, no sauce, nothing, but he has to have rice. He has to have the rice. So Filipino staple, whenever you have a party, no matter what type of party it is, and you have to have the rice. So we always make rice just for the ones who want rice. And then the traditional corn, we'll do the corn. We'll do the mashed potatoes. We'll do all that stuff. And I've noticed that lately we haven't been doing any veggies when it comes to I don't know if corn's considered a veggie.
I guess.
Yeah, but not
really.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, so that's usually what our sides entail. Okay. Nothing big, nothing major. I know there's a lot of families or people, like someone told me at work the other day, like their Super Bowl spread, and I'm like, man, this is like Thanksgiving for you guys, Cranberry what? So yeah, it's like no, not us. We anything over, it's like, no, dude, no, we're not doing all this. So
yeah, same for us. Like the thing is, like I said, my dad really wasn't into football like that.
Yeah.
Until I got to high school, and I started playing, and then he really took an interest to it and started understanding it. So prior to that, me and my brothers were the only ones who were really interested in watching, and they were older, so they'd go out to watch it somewhere.
Yeah.
So it was always just kind of chilling at home, ordering pizza. That's probably the go-to. In fact, I think I'm going to have that Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm just going to order some pizza. I'm not going to be grilling or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so just because of that, most of my Super Bowls have just been kind of small, chill at home sort of deal. Like I actually enjoy the game.
Yeah.
So I don't want too much stuff going on, so to kind of take me away from that. You know?
Yeah, totally understand. That was my next one, man. My next one was actually going to be pizza. It's like, if all said and done and I don't feel like making ribs and I don't feel like making a prime rib, we'll always order pizza just as to have something there. And, and you can relate. If it's not your team that you're rooting for watching the Super Bowl, it's kind of just like an ordinary Sunday, and you don't want that big of a spread going on. So usually it'll be pizza. And lately our go-to has been Round Table, because there's this like meat lovers that they have that has like every single meat that you can think of, and it's like $20 for that. And there's a buffalo chicken one. I don't know if you ever tried their buffalo chicken.
No, I've actually only been there one time in my life. And do they have like a buffet, or is that their thing or something like that?
Yeah, the salad buffets.
Okay.
I think it's a salad buffet.
All right, because we went one time. I just remember you could just kind of keep going up and grabbing, but no, I did not. To answer your question, I didn't try it. Yeah, no, they're buffalo chicken pizza. And if you guys tried buffalo chicken, you know what it is. It's just barbecue sauce, cheese, and then chicken on top. Theirs is actually better than any other ones that I've tried, and it's just it's Round Table. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but it's good. It's good. So those are usually the two pizzas that we get during Super Bowl if nothing else happens, like no one wants to cook this and that. So yeah, it's funny. obviously being from New York, everybody's always asking me about pizza and,
Yeah.
you know, what's your favorite pizza? And I'm always trying to explain to everyone, it's the simpler, the better. You know, I'm like, you're never going to find the best pizza in New York because everyone has a different opinion and
Yeah.
preference. It's usually whatever's closest, you know, whatever you prefer. And there was one down the street from where I used to live. Me and my brother used to order from all the time. Shout out to Barry's. And they did, you know, basic, typical pizza shop pizza, normal New York style pizza. I hate even saying New York style. Excuse me, that's blasphemy. It's pizza. But anyway, but they did have specials, and one of the specials they had was buffalo chicken pizza.
Nice.
And you know, my brother, he's lived all over the country, so you know, he's used to trying different types of foods and pizza. So he's like, "Oh, let's get that." And I was against it. I was just like, "Oh, come on, dude, that's like way too much stuff to put on a pizza. It's like it's not even pizza anymore." And it's freaking amazing.
Yes.
Like it was so good. So yeah, I haven't tried round tables, but I tried really good you know, buffalo chicken pizza. I know it sounds weird, but it's good.
I mean, it's, you know, when we think of pizza, you know, all of us, cheese, pepperoni, it's like the two main ingredients, right? That's all we're thinking of. And it's like every now and then you'll put, you know, some sausage or maybe some ham and, you know, then they come out with like, you know, barbecue sauce, cheese and chicken. When you think of that in a pizza form, you're like, yeah, dude, that doesn't, but as soon as you try it, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Damn. There's this pizza place. God, I forget the name of it. It's in the Richmond district in San Francisco. I want to say it's called Gasper's with a G, or it could be Casper's. I'm not sure what it is. They have a buffalo style pork pizza, which is the same thing, barbecue sauce, cheese, but instead of chicken, it's pork. And you know, it tastes pretty much like sausage as when you're chewing it, but just a different flavor. You're like, whoa, this is so different, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man, pizza's probably one of the easiest thing to do for any occasion. And, you know, Sunday Super Bowl, it's not one of those things where, you know, I'm going to get up early and do all this and get all this ready. We actually have nothing planned. We have nothing planned, nothing. Like everyone's like, hey, what are you making for Super Bowl? I don't know. I got to see what's in the fridge. You know, it's one of those things like we have nothing planned. I mean, it's like, I'm going to watch a Super Bowl. I'm going to enjoy the game. It's going to be a good game. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, not going to go to Costco right now and try to figure out. Costco is like the worst place to go right before any big occasion.
Yeah, it is the worst.
Yeah. Any big occasion. Super Bowl, Christmas, Thanksgiving is the worst place to go because, one, they jack up the price. And then two, it's just everybody there just wants to grab everything.
Yeah, it's a madhouse. And then, you know, no one cares about social distancing anymore at that point. They're just like crowded over each other. It's like, ugh.
What social distancing at Costco? You know, what is that?
Your cart. That's what you got. That's what I used to keep
get away from. Exactly. Yeah, man. But yeah, nothing big, man. I mean, it's like usually, you know, we'll have, you know, my parents will be here. We'll watch the game. My dad will talk shit about both teams and tell me like how much this team sucks. And then I'll go to the history and like, you know, when I came here in 1970, he'll start telling me all that stuff. The 49ers was only 1-3. And, you know, Steve DeBerg was our quarterback. I was like, oh, God, here we go again. And it's fun to listen to. And in the beginning, my kids were enjoying these stories, right? Like they're like, oh, so what happened then? And then what happened then? But then they hear the story every year. And then it's kind of like, oh God, here we go. Here we go. My older son, I forget which year it was. He's like, oh, it took you 20 whole minutes to finally remember to tell us that story. We've been waiting for it this whole time. So, I mean, it's cool. You know, I guess as we get older, we start thinking about, you know, like what it was back then. And you know, it's like, oh my God. Yeah. My dad, like, he loves telling the stories about when the Niners used to suck. Well, they do now, but you know, when they were like one and whatever. That's man. Can't be a Super Bowl without that story. So
that's sweet. Shout out to your dad.
I'm gonna have to call him tomorrow because, you know, social distancing, we don't want anyone over and say this and that kind of thing to him. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Oh man. You know, I would say like the most Preparation I've ever done for a Super Bowl was probably forgive me for, I'm not sure of the year. I think it's 2000. It was the Titans and Rams Super Bowl, but that one where I think they lost by like a yard. The Titans,
St. Louis Rams at the time.
St. Louis, yeah. And so at that time, I lived with my other brother, Johnny, and his wife, and my niece at the time. And he decided he wanted to try to make his own beer. 2 weeks prior, he got I think it was called like Mr. Beer. It was like this kit and came with all the stuff he needed. And so he makes this beer, and when he's looking at it, when he's reading all the instructions, and he's like, oh, that's interesting. He's like, the amount of sugar, that you put in when it ferments, that'll determine the amount of alcohol in it. So we're like, oh, cool. That's, like a science project. So he's like, puts a little more sugar than the instructions call for. So I'm like, okay, this is not gonna go well. So, 2 weeks. You want to let it at least ferment for at least 2 weeks. I think it was probably maybe about 2.5 weeks before the game. Had it in the closet. My brother is a really good, I say home chef, because the way he cooks is like to the level of a chef, but he's never worked at a restaurant or anything like that. He's just always had a knack for it.
Okay.
But he decides he wants to do baked clams and lasagna, right? Because that's typical Super Bowl food, right? I'm helping. I'm a sous chef, and I'm helping to make all the stuff. We don't know how to shuck clams. I'm trying not to chop my fingers off, right? But we get it done. We had the beer in the fridge that morning, or maybe even the night before, so it was nice and chilled. And we finally were able to make the clams. Had the lasagna in the oven, but we start drinking, and the beer was actually good. It was a lager, I think, or something like that. It was actually really good, but it was strong
because of the sugar.
Because he added a little more sugar, so the alcohol content was a little higher.
Wow!
And when I tell you, we were knocked out by halftime. We were both asleep. When he had like 2 sofas, we were knocked out sleeping on the sofa. Wake up, my sister-in-law was just like shaking her head. It was like maybe like the 4th quarter. She's done eating lasagna. She's like, the thing rang. I took it out. I ate. She's like, you guys are sleeping. I wasn't gonna wait. Her and my niece ate. We woke up just in time to see the end of the game, which was a pretty exciting game.
That's all you needed to see, anyways. Yeah,
basically. But that was the most prep I've ever done for a Super Bowl.
Isn't it funny? You mentioned clams and lasagna for Super Bowl. Isn't it funny that when you do invite somebody over for a Super Bowl party, and we just talked about some of the traditional stuff you'll bring, pizza, wings, ribs, and stuff like that. The oddest thing I think I've ever had for a Super Bowl, and mind you, Filipinos, they like to bring different things. And when we have parties, they don't hear the word Super Bowl in front of it, right? They hear party, right?
Right.
So, man, if you've ever been to a Filipino Super Bowl party, you're having everything from pancit to lumpia to, like you said, my mom, her famous or favorite dish a lot of people like to eat is lasagna. And it's not your American style lasagna. It's your sugared out,
sweet.
Filipino, sweet style lasagna, which probably is the reason why we all like it, because it's so sweet, right? But yeah, man, it makes me laugh that whenever you go to, like, if I went to, a non-Filipino house party, I'll probably be like, hey, this is all you guys have? Where's the rest of the food? But if you go to any Filipino, I'm guaranteed any Filipino, you will have the traditional Filipino foods sitting there. Adobo might even be there. Someone must say, hey, we're making adobo for, but
menudo,
something. Yeah, exactly. But just imagine how hard it is when you're sitting there watching a Super Bowl game. You have your chicken wings. That's cool. You have your pizza. That's cool. But then you got a bowl and you're trying to do this at the same time. And it's like, no, it's happened a few times. When my family used to live out here in Daly City, Daly City was always the go-to place for Super Bowl, because they had the house, they had the big screen TV, and they had, like I said, whatever we can think of to bring for food, that's what we did. And man, it's kind of one of those things where I kind of miss those days, because it's like, it's a Sunday, and it's like we got school tomorrow, but we can still mess around all night tonight. So
And that's one thing I say. I we've said it here before on the podcast, but my wife is Filipina, and I love Filipino parties, man. just for that reason. Like you guys, like we have a little board here on the wall where we have a calendar and we write down everything for the week that we have to do and things. And I just look at the birthdays. I look to say, oh, okay, you'll probably get lechon there.
Yes.
Okay, some pancit. All right, like
Yes.
because it's always a spread and it's always good. So yeah. Shout out to you guys.
Well, lately it hasn't been like that for us because like my whole family now lives in Sacramento, and to drive to Sacramento on a Sunday and have to be back, that same evening is kind of a stretch for us. So usually our Super Bowl party is just within us, and like moms will still make the lasagna. It's still good. Dad's been creative lately, man. He's been making different things lately. It hasn't been traditional stuff lately. He's been on the whole fettuccine Alfredo. Yeah,
nice.
He's been on that, and then we'll say, "Hey, Dad, make some fettuccine." He's like, "All right." So we'll get there. Super Bowl starts, let's say 4:00. I'll get there at 2:00 to get everything ready. I was like, "Dad, what are you doing?" He was like, "I'm getting the fettuccine ready." I'm like, "Dad, the Super Bowl doesn't start for another 4 hours, man. That's gonna just sit for how long?" And you can never piss off someone who's cooking. He's like, "Fine, I won't cook it then." I was like, "No, Dad, I'm just saying. By the time everybody gets down here and it's time to eat, it's gonna be hard."
Yeah,
it's like the microwave is there for. We're gonna warm it up in the microwave. I'm like, "Oh God, all right, Dad, you do what you want, man."
It's funny. My dad, my dad couldn't cook. He can now. Oh, I would say over the last few years, in his retirement, him and my mom's really showed him a lot of stuff. And he can make Spanish rice now, and he can make a few things. But throughout the years, he really was not. He made attempts. Yeah, bless his heart, he made attempts, but he wasn't a good cook, and he knew it. He knew his limitations, but he was always good at, getting the mood going. Like, he'll turn on some music early on in the day. He'll get the drinks going, get some beers ready. So he gets you excited for it. Kind of, he's like the hype man for it. Even though he doesn't really at one point didn't really care so much about the game. Now he does. Now he's an expert. But back then he was just getting everybody riled up for it. And it would just be like me, him, and my mom. My sister. She could care less. Now, do you ever hop into any like Super Bowl pools or like with the boxes and stuff?
Yeah, since I've been working where I'm at right now, for the past 5 years we've been doing the pools. And one year I actually won, which wasn't that bad. This year I think I did $60 worth. I think it was like $15 a box. I bought 4 boxes. Yeah, man, I love those. You ever do it with your family?
Yeah, I have, unfortunately.
Speaking of pops, like you said, man, my dad was exactly the way your dad was. Always gotta, be that center of attention when it comes to the Super Bowl. So he would come with the boxes already ready, right? And before the Super Bowl starts, he would hand them out, and it'd be like $2-3 a square. And mind you, my family was probably like, there's only like 10 or 12 of us, right? Where half of them didn't have a good job to where they wanted to spend like $20 worth of squares. And the payout wasn't so big. The payout was maybe like $100, $200. But my dad's like, "Come on, we need one more. We need one more. Someone has to buy 1 square." But the funny thing was, when you look at your squares, do you do like, 5, 6? All right, man, I can pull this off. My dad's a total opposite. My dad's like, "All right, if they don't score this touchdown, this $200 is yours. If they don't get this field goal, this is going to be your money." I mean, he's one of those guys where he gets you all excited, and you're like, "Don't hit the field goal. Don't hit the field goal." Now
you're nervous about it.
Exactly. And then, of course,
walking around like this.
Of course, they hit the field goal. Then you're looking at my dad like, "You told me I was going to win." It's like, "Hey, they kicked the field goal, not me. Don't get mad at me, man."
Oh, that's funny.
Man. You ever win big? What's the biggest you ever won there?
I was actually just going to say, I have never won. As far as Super Bowl, picks and things like that, the Super Bowl boxes, I've never won that. I do FanDuel, usually weekly. This season, not so much because of COVID.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to waste my money basically. But in FanDuel, the biggest I've won is 600. Okay. And that was like early on too. That was what got me. I was like, damn it, they got me. But that was probably my biggest score. But As far as the boxes, no, but I'm hoping this is my year. So like you, I spent $60. It was $20 a box. I got 3 of them.
Yeah.
But now I don't know if you've ever seen this before. This is the first time I've seen this. Shout out to my boy Jonathan. His brother's the one that's hosting it. Each, you know how you get your numbers for each team, right?
Yeah.
In your box. Well, each quarter has a different set of numbers.
Yes.
So I've never done that before. And so usually, like you were saying, like if you get, crappy numbers or right out the gate, 2 and 2, you're like,
Yeah,
all right, I'm done. I'm not winning. But now you have a chance each quarter. So I like that. I like that idea.
I like that one. Yeah.
This year, this might be my year. Maybe
That
next
way-
episode, I'll be like,
I won. That way I like better. Like you said, you have 4 different chances to win 4 different, quarters. This year, for some reason, the guy who does it decided not to do it that way and just decided to do the 1-line numbers, which is cool. But I think one of my numbers is like 9-1. I'm like, fucking 9-1.
that's right.
He's like, dude, there's a chance. I'm like, yeah, 3 field goals and what, 4 touchdowns? Yeah, possibly.
3 touchdowns.
Or three touchdowns. 3
field
touchdowns.
goals.
I'm like, that's not going to happen. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
See,
just the 9 alone is going to shoot me. And I think I have maybe out of the 4, I think I have 2 that are good and 2 that are like, oh God, what the hell?
Yeah. I didn't look at all of them yet. I'm going to write them down just because there's so many boxes. I'm going to write it down so I can see it easier. But I did see I have 2 7s.
Nice.
So
nice.
that's I'm hoping that'll be,
Yeah.
what kills the first quarter too.
What kills me is like if a safety happens that like ruins the numbers for everybody. So it's like if you have a 2, pray for a safety. Yeah, like you, I never won big. I think the biggest I've won, like I said, I won like maybe like $120 in this pool. My mom though, man, when she was still working at the time, they did, office pool. Theirs was like up to like $6,000-$7,000 in prizes because they were doing like, I think it was like $100 or $150 a box, right? So my mom bought, I think at the time my mom bought $300 worth, which was like 2 boxes. And she hit the final score, which was like, I want to say like a $6,000 payout.
Oh, wow. That's
and
great.
I only remember this because she used $3,000 of that money and put it on the down payment for one of our first minivans. And and I was like, wow, okay, all right.
Good stuff.
This was in the 80s. I think it was the Niners. I want to say it was when the Niners beat maybe the Broncos or something like that. It was in the 80s. It was one of the 80 Super Bowls. I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, wow, okay, all right. This pool thing is cool. Other than that, I don't do any other gambling when it comes to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's like you got those people like, okay, let's bet the first who gets the whip ball first. Like Vegas has those odds. Who's gonna win whatever toss? Which direction are they gonna go first? I'm like, really? You guys are betting on all that?
Yeah, I mean, I did it one time in Vegas, where I had one of those sheets where you kind of can bet on all that stuff, and it was cool at first, but then I was just like, yeah, this is just too much.
Yeah.
I wasn't really winning anything, and in order to win, you had to really bet a lot, which I wasn't gonna do. Like, I'm not a gambler, so for me, FanDuel was the best because it's the fantasy football format that I'm used to, that we've been doing for years.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with that. That I feel like I'm good enough with that. And then, you can bet $1, $2 games. So it's and you can win a lot. So, that's kind of the extent of my gambling.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw things like I said, who's going to call the first time out, who's going to get the first penalty, I was like, God, they have odds for that. They actually, I want to know that people actually bet on that. It's like, you have to have a lot of money, like a millionaire status, to say, okay, let's bet on who's going to get the first penalty. I'm like, really?
Yeah. It's, I mean, again, it's kind of, it's a bit of a novelty because, you're just, that's how they get you. You know what I mean? Because you're looking at all the games and you're like, you know what? I think the Patriots will get the first. They really start thinking like you can, have premonitions about what's going to happen. But
exactly.
It's really just a gimmick. It's you're not gonna do it.
Let me ask you
then
this.
like those. I'm sorry.
Right. No, go ahead.
And those guys that do like the what do you call that? Like the odds, the under over and all that stuff. Like I stay away from that stuff. I I don't pretend to be an expert and lose a ton of dough.
I like that in the regular season, like the over and under during the regular season, because you have the different matchups, right? So when like a Kansas City is going against one of the worst teams in the division, and you're like, all right, Kansas City, and 44 points. You're like, all right, dude, Kansas City just scored 40 last week. I usually like taking the over and unders. Usually I do it. Sometimes it's like when you think you're gonna have a team that's gonna like shoot it out, and then all of a sudden their defense steps up, and you're like, oh damn it, I should have stuck with the under. Like, why the hell did I go with the stuff like that. This Super Bowl, I just saw this. It was 56.5 for the over under, and I'm like, 56.
So now explain to people that don't know what that means.
So, for you guys who watch football, for you guys who watch football, so if the total, whatever the total is at the end of the game, if that goes over 56.5, which I don't know where the half comes from. So basically, if they go 57, the total of points is 57, then if you bet the over, you win. And depending on how much you bet on the over, then that's how much you get back. But if you're like, there's no way they're gonna score more than 56 total, then you bet the under, and like you said, they don't score 56. Let's say they score 53 or even like 45, then you win that as well. It's a chance. It's one of those chance kind of games because you don't know, if they're both gonna score,
right.
35 in the first half, then if you're pretty much already a shoo-in that they went over. But if it's not anything like that, man, you're like,
and you can never call it with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's always come down to a field goal or a touchdown, and like it's one of those things where like if it was 56.5 and then they scored that final field goal and you bet the over, right? But that final field goal, let's say you bet the under, and then that final field goal put him over by 1 point. Like you lost whatever money you just spent on the under. So it's it's a gamble. It's a gamble. I don't need that in my stressful life right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now, how was it for you last year? With the Niners, because it's a different experience when your team is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, can you even still enjoy the Super Bowl festivities, let's just say, or are you just too nervous and worried about the game itself and the outcome?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of both, right? It's like when the game started, I was hyped. Yeah, we put Patrick Mahomes on his ass. Then as the game progressed, it's like I don't want to eat. Take that away from me. And last year, I think it was Truly or White Claws that just kind of got popular, the drinks, right? So I said, I'm only going to drink one or two because it was a Sunday and I didn't want to, go to work with a hangover. And if you drink enough of these, you'll get a hangover. I had one in the first quarter. I had 3 in the second quarter. And I think I had one for halftime. Then I had 2 in the second quarter. And then the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, it was just kind of like, fuck. I think I ended up finishing the box because it was just like the game was so stressful that that's all you had to do was drink. So yeah, it's like it's hard for me to enjoy a game when I'm so involved in that game. That's why it's always good when my team is not in it because I can actually enjoy the Super Bowl.
Right.
But just like last year, it's like those. I'm gonna call them blown calls. There's some calls that should have been called. There's some calls that shouldn't have been called. And if we had a good quarterback, that throw to Emmanuel Sanders would have been caught. But
shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, I could have. But it's hard, man. It's hard to say, what, I'm going to enjoy my Super Bowl, watch my team, and still say, I'm having fun. What about you? I know you saw a couple Giant Super Bowls.
Yeah, it was, it's just too stressful for me. I those, with the exception of the 2007 Super Bowl where I was at my boy Ev's house, his mom's house, and there was a lot of people there. That was probably the biggest Super Bowl, thing, and that's only just because he has a big family. Like he has like, I forget, I lost count, but like he has more than 5 brothers and sisters. So I would say I don't know. I can't really enjoy everything that's going on. I'm so focused on the game. It's like
Yeah.
I'm in there. Like you said, you have so much. Maybe before the game, leading up to it, yeah, you're all hyped up and you're feeling nice. But as soon as the game starts, if it's a close one or just not going the way you expected right off, it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, I can't. And then for me, it seems like the game just goes by super fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when I'm watching it, like, you know, I have no interest in who's in the game. It sometimes can drag, and you know, with all the commercials and all the pomp and circumstance, it can take forever. It seems like sometimes, but when your team's in there, it's just like, oh, you're running out of time.
Do it.
You don't have enough time.
Do it. I think the only time I've ever enjoyed a Super Bowl when my team was in it was when Steve Young played the San Diego Chargers, and we were up like, God, 50 something in the whole game. We took the lead the whole game, so it was kind of hard to just be stressful. You're sitting there and you're enjoying the game. You're like you're drinking happy. You're eating happy. So I guess it really depends on the turnaround of the outcome of the game and how the game's going. Because if you're watching the Giants, man, and the Giants are up 21-0 in the first quarter, you still got 3 quarters to worry about. This was me last year. Niners were up. They were up 10 points. Everything was perfect. It's like, play some defense. We had the number 1 defense on the field. Play some defense. And then Kansas City started slowly chipping back. And I'm like, fuck. Jesus. So it was hard for me to enjoy anything.
Yeah.
Just because of that reason. But this year it's going to be different. This year it's going to be, Tampa Bay and Kansas City. And again, I can care less who wins. Who loses doesn't really matter to me. I'm rooting for my squares, pretty much. I'm rooting for my numbers, I
was telling the guys, I was like, I said the viewership in the Bay Area is going to be really low. I was like, because they don't want to see Mahomes win. And I know a lot of people that still don't want to see Brady win. So,
But, shout out to Tom Brady, man. Bay Area kid. I mean, you can't hate a guy for doing that. I mean, it's like New England picked him. They didn't know who the hell Tom Brady was. They saw something in him. Belichick, good coach, took this guy, made him into a good quarterback, and they just won Super Bowls. I mean, that's the whole purpose of football. You play to win a Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl and win it. And you can't hate him for actually doing that. Is he better than Joe Montana? That argument's going to go on for the rest of our lives. It's going to go on for the rest of our lives till another guy comes around and wins 5 or 6 Super Bowls. And then you're going to be like, is this guy better than Brady? It's going to be, and I'm going to put it out there, just because I'm a Niner fan, I'm a Joe fan, different time, different rules, different everything, and the way Tom Brady is, he wouldn't have survived any of those hits Joe Montana took. And again, I'm not saying that because I'm a Niner fan. I'm just saying that that's the truth. And is he better than Montana? He has more Super Bowls than Montana. Is he better? I don't know. I'm not gonna stand with that argument. People likes to argue with me over that. I just tell them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say he is, just because I like pissing people off. I like going to work and everybody being mad at me.
You should just come to work with a Brady jersey on Monday or Tuesday, or a Tampa Bay hat, man. But shout out to Tampa Bay, man. First team in NFL history to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. Mm-hmm. And again, the 89 Niners had a chance to do it, but with the earthquake, they had to move that over to Stanford. But man, these guys, man, Super Bowl, man. And was it 2 years ago or not? The year that it was in Levi's. The Niners just went to the Super Bowl the year before that. I was like, we were all had that expectations, new stadium, Niners were going to make it, but that's when the whole Kaepernick thing started happening, and
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. It's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty cool for the city of Tampa Bay, and my boy Charlie. Shout out to him. We're actually dropping an episode Woken Up tomorrow Sunday morning, so you guys can watch it. And he talks about kind of everything that's going on in Tampa right now, getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Nice.
And he said it's crazy. He's like, put it this way. He's like, the strip clubs are open. I'm like, jeez.
You have
it's gonna be a shit show.
You have that guy who holds the little billboard or the brown thing walking around there and going, "What's COVID? What COVID?" I mean,
so it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be crazy, man. Let me ask you this, man. What was your favorite Super Bowl memory? Not like household wise, but watching the Super Bowl. And what was your favorite Super Bowl memory? Was there a favorite commercial you had? Maybe a favorite halftime show? There's a lot of commercials that I like. What was your favorite?
It's funny. There's so many commercials, and I really can't. I can't even think of one of those off the top. People will tell me them, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But for me, the most memorable halftime show, and in my opinion, still the best halftime show, best performance, and my favorite was Prince.
Nice.
He, oh my God. I mean, I can go on. I'm a huge Prince fan, for those of you that don't know. Not only was he, out on stage doing his typical just amazing performance, sounded just like he sounds on the records and on the songs. I mean, he's killing it. He has his presence. He's got the whole purple garb stuff going on, right? Towards the end of his performance, they bring up this huge sheet, right? And he's standing behind it.
I remember that one, yes.
And then you can see this gigantic silhouette of him, and he starts playing the guitar, and he's playing. He starts to do Purple Rain, right? It starts to rain. Yeah. Okay. This is how amazing this guy is. God was like, oh, just like, he just right on cue. He does Purple Rain, starts to rain, and he starts stroking his guitar as he's playing it. And of course, the silhouette, you can imagine what it looks like. Yeah. And this is a halftime show. Yeah. This is, they almost canceled Justin and Janet for showing their nipple. He's over here stroking his guitar, which I think was like way worse, honestly, because that was like a split second the nipple. But that might be my second favorite thing. But yeah, if that was Prince, hands down. I think that was the best performance.
2007, man. That was like a couple years before he passed away when he did that. And man, I agree with you, man. That's one of the best. Spoiler alert for you guys who listens to the daily podcast with me, Eric B. I am going to be covering Prince in the next podcast.
Nice.
So Prince is going to be touched on next. But yeah, man, Prince was just his performance in that show made you appreciate the person that he is, and whether he had full control of what he wanted to do. Man, if he didn't have full control, then still that was still an awesome show. And when he was doing that thing behind the curtain, I was like, is this appropriate? Does he? Am I the only one that noticed that that's not really his guitar that he's doing?
Yeah. And then the guitar was shaped like his symbol. The male and the female, but in the silhouette, it kind of looked like a set of nuts, and you can figure out the rest.
Am I the only one that sees this? What's going on here? Shh, quiet. Prince is performing. He's not performing. What are you talking about? My favorite, I like the Janet Jackson one. And, that was Janet Jackson. Nelly was on there. Justin Timberlake. And there's a couple other people who's on there. But they ended it with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. And a lot of people said it was an accident, man. What's your thought? I think it was on purpose. Because there's no way you guys know you're going to do that on national TV. And she had her nipple covered in some kind of whatever symbol that was. Yeah,
she had like a special sun star nipple ring around it. I didn't believe that it was an accident. Plus, what were you trying to do otherwise? Yeah. They said, what were you pulling off? I don't get what that whole action was. You accidentally ripped her bra off.
Well, the line of the Justin Timberlake song was, "I'm going to get you naked by the end of this song." Then he rips that off. And then, come on, guys. We are not stupid. We are not grade school kids. We're like, there was an accident on stage. No. Yeah. No, the most paused moment in Super Bowl history must be that. It wasn't the fumble. It wasn't, was his knee on the ground. It was that Janet Jackson's nipple?
Yeah. It's funny. I was watching that with my dad, and we were both like prairie dogs when it happened.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was just like, did you? My dad was like, oh, that was a titty. And then he started laughing.
Not just a titty. That's Janet Jackson's. That's Janet Jackson's titty.
Oh,
But yeah, no, that was my favorite. Another one, Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson did Super Bowl in 1993 was one of my favorites. And then 2011, Black Eyed Peas was on stage, and the only reason why was the first time a halftime show had a Filipino person on there. You know, there was a Filipino person on the halftime show, and they sang the song Bebot, which is the Filipino song. It was like, wow, you know, like this is hardly played on the radio unless you're in the Bay Area or in the Filipino community. But to play this on a national stage, loved it. Loved it. Awesome. Yeah, loved it.
You just reminded me actually of another a moment, and it was wasn't the halftime show. It was the national anthem, and that was Whitney Houston.
Yes.
And that was the same. That was the year I think the Giants played the Bills. I think it was like 91 that year.
1991, the Giants won by 1 point.
Yeah. Man, I can't even put into words what she did to that. To this day, for me, is the best rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. I mean, chills when you listen to it. The control that she has of her voice, but the power behind it. Oh man, Here's a little peek right here. So a little peek there. YouTube, don't cut me off there. But the good thing, the one significant thing about this song and why it was so heartfelt for everybody is the United States just went into Iraq. Yeah. And you know, this song had a significant feeling to everyone because we had troops that were just going in. We don't know what war is this going on. Then Whitney Houston comes on stage and fucking blows the hell out of this song, and just the passion in her voice. You can see the passion in her face. It was like the best. Yes, you're right. It is the best rendition so far that a national anthem was sung in a Super Bowl for me. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. I mean, if you guys say Super Bowl national anthem, I guarantee 90% will remember Whitney Houston over, you know, whoever that sang one. I'm sure if you Google it, that's probably what will pop up.
Yes.
It will be her.
Yes. And I mean, it's just, again, the way she sang it, how she sang it, the control, like you said, the tone and the feeling. You can feel she sang the hell out of that song. So it was like, wow. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston, man. But yeah, that's to me is one of my favorite songs ever. Now they're starting to add God Bless America in the Super Bowl. I'm traditionalist. I'm okay. I'm one of those guys like, dude, fucking hurry up. Let's get to the show.
Yeah.
You know, then you're doing the God Bless America. Then you're doing the national anthem. Then you're doing the let's introduce each team. That's like, God, come on.
Yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that because, you know, for me, I remember when I was younger, the Super Bowl being more about the actual game.
Yes. And
then just slowly over the years, it's just been built up to this, you know, big event, which, you know, I get it. There's so much money in football and it's cool and all that, but it kind of sucks a little bit for the fans, like who would maybe one day want to go see a Super Bowl, but, you know, half the tickets are bought up by celebrities who don't even care about the game. They just want to be there because that's the place to be, you know? So it sucks in that respect.
Yeah.
You know, I that's the one thing nowadays I hate about the Super Bowl. I love the commercials. Don't get me wrong. The commercials are great. But it's just like when that starts to become the main, you know, attraction, that's when I just get a little annoyed. Yeah. I'm like you. It's like this. Come on, let's just get this going. Why does it have to be such a long halftime? Yeah. That affects the players too. You know, these guys get cold. You know, feel like you guys, your team is in the lead. You know, you don't want them to sit there for 45 minutes cooling down and giving the other team the opportunity to maybe come back or momentum. So I think they need to maybe kind of cut that short.
Cut that down, yeah. But when you have somebody like Prince and he's sitting there playing the final song, it's like, dude, come on, Prince, hurry up. Yeah, we told him 5 minutes ago to wrap it up. He's still stroking his guitar. He's playing the last course of the thing. Is there a favorite commercial you have that you have Super Bowl? My favorite commercials are always going to be any Budweiser commercial. The Clydesdales are always my favorites because, you know, it's like, especially if they do that mellow one where it's just kind of like subtle Clydesdale, and then it shows the Budweiser just going by, or the Clydesdales going by. It's just like, wow, that's kind of cool. Too bad I don't like drinking Budweisers, but it's kind of cool. And then the one that they did in 1993, the frogs. Remember the frogs?
Bud.
Wise. That's, to me, that's always going to be a classic.
Those are classics. Yeah. Geico's always good for some funny commercials.
Geico has been picking up. Yeah. For the past, 5-6 years, Geico commercials has gotten a lot better when it comes to Super Bowl commercials.
I think there's a probably general are my favorite. I would say, but yeah, the old school Budweiser ones.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Bud Bowl? When I was little, I was so excited about that. Even though I was like, I didn't care anything about beer, but I actually wanted to see. It was like Bud Light against Bud. Regular Bud. Yeah. And it was just the bottles, and then I was legitimately tuning in to see who won the Bud Bowl when I was a kid.
Do you just think of the marketing they did there, man? It's like they showed the score in the first quarter for the real game of the first quarter. Then every quarter they would show, limit or what's going on in the game, right? All the way to the fourth quarter where you finally got to see who won the Bud Bowl. It's like, who thought? I mean, like, the writers, man, like, how did you guys think of this? This is genius. Because now you're invested, like, you can't just say, oh, fuck, my team is done. I'm done in the third quarter. But you want to see who's going to win the Bud Bowl, man. So you're going to stay for the fourth quarter and maybe the last 5 minutes of the game to see who won the Bud Bowl. Yeah, I love that, man. That's definitely cool. It's cool. There's a lot of commercials. I don't know if you remember, man. 1984, the Where's the Beef commercial actually aired during the Super Bowl.
No, I was too young for that one. But that's pretty cool. I never knew that.
For you guys who don't know, there was these old ladies. There's a Wendy's commercial. There was these old ladies that went to a non-Wendy's place, and there was 3 of them, and they gave them the hamburger, and there's one old lady out of nowhere just goes, "Where's the beef?" Because it was just all buns and just a little patty, right? Yeah. And then,
open it too.
Like, they open it up. They open it up. Where's the beef? There's the beef. Where's the beef? So they go back and forth, and that commercial struck gold for these ladies, and like Wendy's just became successful again because of these ladies, and that actually aired on the Super Bowl commercial. And I'm sad to say that I actually remember that commercial. I remember that commercial because I remember asking my dad, "Can we go to Wendy's on the way home?" He said, "There's plenty of food here. We don't need to go to Wendy's." But Dad, I don't like eating a Noble. I don't want bun set. I want a burger.
Do you have any idea now what the price is now for? I know like the 30-second spot was at one time like $2-3 million. I don't know if it's still ridiculous like that. But.
Yeah, no, not off the top of my head, man. But I know they are expensive. I did read something about this year being that it was a COVID season, that the commercial prices dropped a little bit.
Oh, really?
What that entails, I'm not sure. Could be like $1 million for like 15 seconds now instead of 2 million. But yeah, I'm not sure what the price is, but usually the prices for the first half are more expensive than what the prices for the second half.
Makes sense.
So that's why usually the best commercials are always in the first half of the game. Because the second half, you'll either see a rerun of the commercial from the first half, or you'll see something different, but it's kind of more on the cheaper side commercial. I don't want to say it that way, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like, the second half, the real fans really dial into the game, and the fair weather ones who don't really care start to check out at that point because they're drunk and they're already kind of doing whatever. So
it's going to be me.
People aren't watching TV anymore.
It's going to be me. You know what sucks is, man, I'm starting a diet tomorrow, Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. I was supposed to start it on Monday, but I'm like, let me start on. Well, because there was no food involved. I'm not going to go cook anything. So I was like, I might as well start this diet on Sunday. So, and one of that, it kind of entails where I can't really have alcohol, but I might sneak, a can here and there. Maybe 2 cans, and just say, this is going to be my last alcohol for the time being, and go from there. So yeah, I'm starting a diet tomorrow. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, boys, what do you want to eat? I'll get it for you. And the only reason why I'm starting it tomorrow is because next week is Ash Wednesday for you Catholics. Right. And that's when you have to give something up for 40 days. And I usually give up meat anyways for 40 days. So I said, you know what? I might as well start, a week early and go from there. So it's only.
Now,
go ahead.
Sorry. Are you going to be a glutton Fat Tuesday?
Yeah. Fat Tuesday is going to be. Well, again, I start my diet tomorrow, and my diet entails of ready-made meals. So it's like there's already meals that I have to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner kind of thing. So I was like, I'm gonna eat this keyboard now. It's full of cardboard. So, for you guys who are wondering what I'm having for lunch, it's cardboard and foam. But,
listen, if you can make it through the Super Bowl on a diet on your first day, I mean, the rest of it should be a piece of cake. No pun intended.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cake, I'm just kidding. I think we have one somewhere in the fridge. No, it's one of those things where it's like I could either start on Monday, or I can start on Sunday. But I said, you know what? Let me get my intestines ready just in case on Monday it doesn't go well, and you don't ever want to be at work and all of a sudden you're like, I gotta go. My stomach. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So, but yeah, man, Super Bowl, man, I enjoy everything about the Super Bowl, whether it's not my team or not, man. There's always memories, and me and Joe just brought up some memories about our dads and how our dads, and that's something that can never go away. Memories that we have of Super Bowl things, Super Bowl fans. Let me ask you this: what's your favorite Super Bowl? And you could be biased. You can say the Niners or the Giants. Sorry. Mm-hmm. You can say the Giants.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
of course, it's the Giants.
I still think I would have to say it's a tough one. That's a tough one because 2011 we ruined Brady's
comeback.
His undefeated season.
Yes.
18-1, right? So that's really sweet. But I think my favorite experience was 2007 Super Bowl. The Tyree catch.
Yes.
The team we had back then was like a great squad.
Yes.
Jacobs. We had obviously Manning, Tyree. We had Akeem Nicks. We had had
you guys had
really,
a good team. Yeah, you did have a good team.
And I was in New York for that Super Bowl. That was the Super Bowl that I got to see the team at the parade when I was at work.
Nice. That
year, at the Canyon of Heroes for the Super Bowl parade, and I finished my route and did my job and finished it so I can go see the parade. And it was right at the beginning. Got to see all the players. So I think for me that 2007 year was a sweet one. That was the Road Warriors. That was the one where they won like most of their games on the road.
Yes.
And that was how they did it. So yeah, that was probably my best one, I would say.
Nice.
My favorite Super Bowl.
Mine would have to be the last Joe Montana Super Bowl.
What year was that?
God, I want to say that was against Miami Dolphins. That was here in supposed to be in Candlestick. And the last time we talked about the Super Bowl, I said Cincinnati Bengals, so just correct, that was against Miami Dolphins. It was the year that Dan Marino was expected to win the Super Bowl. Joe and Dan was going at it all year on like numbers and all that. And then when we ended up playing in the Super Bowl, the Miami Dolphins just couldn't even, answer to anything the Niners was doing. And that's one of those games that ended with the Niners with a big victory. I'm trying to look it up right now. But yeah, that to me is my favorite Super Bowl just because the way Montana did that Super Bowl. Let's see, it was 1989. Yeah, it was Miami. It was Miami. Sorry, it was Miami and the Niners. And Joe Montana ends up having a good career that season. The following year, it was kind of like the whole back injury, not doing so well. Let's put in Steve Young. Steve Young comes off the bench, and the whole quarterback controversy starts to happen. Yeah, man. So, to me, my memorable year was that last Super Bowl. One, it was in the Bay Area. I think I told you in the last time we talked about this. One of my cousin's neighbors found one of the balloons in the yard that they lift off during the beginning of the game, and it just happened to be the color of the Miami Dolphins. It was like that teal blue balloon, and like he took it and he like popped it right in front of us. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? He's like, I don't like Miami, but this is from the Super Bowl, man. Come on, what's wrong with you? Yeah, so yeah, it was a good year, man. It was a good year for the Niners. like your team, they were like unstoppable the whole season, and the Super Bowl didn't stop them, and Joe Montana ended up becoming the MVP over Jerry Rice, and the last Super Bowl he played was 1989 here in his home state, man, or his home city. So it's kind of cool, man. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, man. But we went to 2 more after that and struck out. So hopefully next year. So I don't know. It all depends. Who are they going to have as quarterback? Who's going to be their guy? Who's going to take them to the Super Bowl? I don't know, man.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, are you guys? I didn't think you did, but it looks like you guys, I guess, have a quarterback situation, right? Because I mean, I think it talks about them maybe wanting to go other directions than Garoppolo.
Well, the stories that I'm reading, and these are all rumors, are no biters took for Garoppolo. No one wanted Garoppolo. They were trying to get Matthew Stafford, which we all know ends up going to the Rams. Jared Goff goes to Detroit. So they were trying to make a play for Matthew Stafford, which was at least they were trying to make a play. And then the whole Deshaun Watson story is going around. The Niners, of course, as a Niner fan, yes, I want Deshaun Watson. Do I want to give up Nick Bosa for Deshaun Watson? No, I don't. I'd give up Jimmy G. I'd give up George Kittle. I'd give up our number 1 pick. I'll give you guys 3 for 1 for Deshaun Watson, but I'm not giving up Nick Bosa because, as we can tell this year, where the Niners played defense, Nick Bosa is the heart of that defense, and without him there, the Niners struggled. Couldn't do anything. So no, I'm not going to give up my number 1 draft pick for your number 1 draft pick. So moving forward, I hope the Niners can come up with something, whether you draft a quarterback in the draft or you try to get Aaron Rodgers over here, whatever the rumor is, whatever you guys got to do, get it done. Get it done.
We'll see.
Get it done. How about you moving forward? How does your Giants look?
Well, we had the big injury last year with Saquon.
Yes.
Or this year, I'm sorry, with Saquon. And even with that, we still had a shot to get into the playoffs with the NFC East being fucking terrible and shit shows it was. But the way they started playing towards the end of the season, I'm optimistic. I think we get Saquon back next year. Continue to work on the O-line. Our defense is coming together. Our defense looked good this year towards the end again. Obviously, the beginning was rough. But again, we were hit with a lot of injuries, COVID, like we spoke about, a while back as to why we weren't going to do fantasy football because, everything was just too unpredictable with COVID. And look what happened. I mean, there was teams dropping out. We were watching football games on Wednesday mornings. It was just weird. So I'm hoping next year will be kind of nice reset, start from scratch and be fresh. And if the rest of the NFC East is still, shit shows it is, we may have a chance.
You guys got the number 11th pick. You're picking right before the Niners at 11. If you guys pick up that wide receiver from Alabama, I forget his name. His name is like Smith is his last name. Small guy, but kind of reminds me of an Odell Beckham, but faster, right? So if you guys can pick him up in the number 11th pick with the team that you have now, maybe, strengthen up the defense just a little bit. Yeah. Man, I think you guys can actually, be back in that NFC, terror squad that normally the Giants and the Cowboys usually have. But again, it's all about what the people do in the front office, man.
Fingers crossed.
Let's see what they do, man. So what's your plan for tomorrow? What's the Super Bowl Sunday like for you guys?
Super Bowl tomorrow. I work tonight. After a few hours tonight, I'll be going to work. So I get home Sunday morning, Super Bowl morning. So I'm gonna go right to sleep. I'm gonna take a nap. Wake up. Probably at the game's 3:30.
Yeah, I was just looking that up too. I'm not sure what time the game is.
So I'll probably be up around maybe 1:30. I'll ask the wife if she can order the pizza before that because they take forever from where we're about to order from, but they're freaking amazing. It's my favorite pizza.
What is it, man? What's the spot?
Well, there's 2. So our go-to regular is Roma Pizza.
Okay.
It's instead of on Geneva and Mission, the area over there. But my favorite, so that's where I'll be ordering from. They just take a while, but it's worth the wait.
Yes.
It's whatever's on there. Any kind of pizza you like, try it. It's really good there.
Okay.
But my favorite pizza, and I consider getting this tomorrow. My favorite pizza in San Francisco is the Pizza Shop. It's on, I want to say, where's that Phil's in the Mission? Is that 24th?
Yeah,
Around there.
Yeah.
Well, it's right across the street from that Phil's. It's by the bus stop.
Okay.
The guy's originally from New Jersey. He moved out here years back and opened this pizza shop.
Wow.
And it is like, not only is it the pizza I grew up eating, like it's better than a lot of places I've had in New York. Yeah, it is really good pizza shop. It's called the Pizza Shop.
I'm looking it up.
It's a little pricey, but it's worth it for me. I don't go there a lot, so for me it's worth it when I really have a hankering. But
it
yeah,
says
and
New
then
York style pizza right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but that's it. And then we're just gonna chill at home, me and the wife. I don't think anyone's coming over, family or anything like that. So we'll probably just be chilling, have a couple Trulies. We're gonna try the Truly tea. A couple people told me to try that out. They said it's pretty good. We like the Truly lemonades.
Tea, okay.
So
what is it? What is the tea? What's inside? Just tea?
It's like iced tea. So they're flavored iced teas, but alcoholic. So it's like I think it's strawberry, lemon, peach.
But it's tea. It's Truly. It says tea on
It's Truly like the can, but it's like iced tea, like a Snapple.
Okay. Oh, I might
but
have to look that up.
I'll let you know how it is.
Yeah, no, I just got the regular Trulies. The mango is always my go-to. Everything else to me tastes like medicine. So if it's not mango, I'm not gonna drink it. So, but not doing much either. Chill, kind of relaxing, kind of just not really planning to do anything big. But that can all change if my dad says, "Hey, this is what I'm making. Do you guys want some?" Like, yes, Dad,
listen
please.
to those stories.
I will start my diet on Monday. Thank you very much. Let me ask you this, man. Last thing before we go. Do you think you're already off on Mondays, so you're good with this, but do you think they should make the Monday after the Super Bowl some sort of holiday?
It's funny that you say that. My old job, and I guess I could say it's I don't work there anymore, FedEx, they treat the Monday after the Super Bowl like a holiday. So if you call off that Monday,
you're good.
Like but yeah, I mean, I think so. Why not? I mean, sports is a big part of America's pastime: football, baseball. Yeah. Why not make them events? Why not make them holidays? I think it's fun. I think it's cool. And people that aren't into sports, they get a freaking holiday. Why not?
Yeah, you can't,
it's a win-win.
You think you'll have that one guy working in the mailroom going, "Oh man, I really wanted to deliver mail today, man. Jeez." No, come on, dude. They say, "Hey, Super Bowl's a holiday for you guys." You're right. Even the non-sports people will be like, "Oh man, I don't got to wake up early tomorrow."
Yeah,
but yeah, I kind of wish it was. I mean, like, coworker went to me the other day and said, like, "Hey man, if they can make a guy like Columbus a holiday, for how many years we celebrated that holiday, why can't we do the day after Super Bowl and make that a holiday?" It's like half the people might call in sick anyways. We
should just try to petition that.
Let's start a petition, man. Let's start a petition. This is the only reason why.
Of the podcast.
If Trump was in office, he'd probably sign that petition. I think the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a holiday. It sounds more like my Obama impression than my Trump impression. What the hell am I doing?
Like, what Trump was that?
Oh man! All right, guys. For you guys who are listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. Who's watching on YouTube? I did bring back the old school studio, which it's just a green screen.
Real quick though, do you any predictions?
Yes, you're right. Predictions. I'm going to say the same thing I told somebody today that I saw. I think Patrick Mahomes knocks out in the first half because he's still battling that turf toe and that concussion. Chad Henne comes in and fucks it up for the whole Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Brady wins was this a 6th Super Bowl ring?
6th, 7th.
Or is this going to be his 7th ring? Well, whatever. Tom Brady comes in, wins the Super Bowl. I'm going to actually say the score, this is going to be my score. I think it's going to be 42-35 Tampa Bay.
42, okay.
42-35 Tampa Bay.
Write that down.
And for you guys who are over and under, that's going to go over, just in case you're wondering.
We did this on the other pod, but it hasn't changed. And same thing, like I'm rooting. I'll be honest with you. I'm actually rooting for Tom Brady. I would like to see him win again. I would like, just to see him add to his legacy. Like you said, the conversation, is always a fun one of who's the best. And Evan made a really good point when he said Giants fans have a big stake subconsciously in the legend of Tom Brady, because no matter how much we build him up, like he couldn't beat us though. We got him twice. So, but even though with all that said, if I was putting money on it, I'm going to go with Kansas City. I think Mahomes is young. I think he's resilient. I think he's probably had enough time to bounce back from the head injury. At least I hope. And I'm gonna say Kansas City 31, Tampa Bay 28. I think it's gonna be a close one.
Wow.
It's gonna be a field goal.
Kansas City 31, Tampa Bay 28. So you're going for Kansas City. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they're gonna. I'm not going for them. I just think they're gonna win.
Maybe we should do another bet here, Mr. Joe. No, I'm already growing the hair out, so that we can't do that. So can't do that. Someone asked me about why am I growing the hair out, and I just said, you know what? I think I'm gonna bring back the Filipino fro. So I'm gonna see how long I can do it before I finally get annoyed and say, "Fuck it, I'm shaving it all off again."
Bring back the mullet.
I actually thought about that.
You playing with your curls.
So in this podcast, I'm thinking about that. I don't know. We'll see. Do I still have enough?
I quit.
Enough hair back here? I should bring back the mullet. Did that fashion ever come back? It hasn't come back, huh?
I don't know if it was ever in.
It was in. What are you talking about? Just because you guys didn't have one, in New York, you guys are too cool. Wearing the beanies.
I can't even grow a mullet. I can do the party in the back, but there's no business up front.
There you go, man. Do the party in the back. That's what you should do.
That's what I'll call it. That'll be my hairstyle. What do we call that? The party in the back.
Party in the back. Can I get the Joe? The party in the back. That'll be cool.
Oh, man.
All right, man. Everyone have a good week. Stay safe. Party hard, but party safe at the same time. If you guys are planning the party again, 6 feet apart, remember there's still a virus that we're still trying to be concerned about. So for you guys who don't care, stay at home. That's the best thing I can tell you. But for you guys who do, probably stay at home would be the next best thing for you guys as well. So
drink responsibly. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to be an idiot, stay at home.
Yeah.
Drink, be an idiot and stay at home. That way, only person that could arrest you is your, mom, dad, wife, sister, and, the toilet that you need to throw up in is right there, and you're not throwing up all over the streets. Oh my God, the bad memories. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. And hopefully it's going to be a good Super Bowl. Next week, we will be back with more stuff to talk about. Yeah. Until then, we are the Ordinary Joes. See ya.
Ordinary Joe's Podcast